Good morning, everyone. Feeling a bit sick today. Ugh, that's annoying. Um, voice is destroyed. It is September 12th. Today we have a lot of news coming out right before we have the CPI that comes out tomorrow morning. So we have Apple, the Apple event. I know a lot of people are going to be looking at that. The Apple event's coming out today. They're going to be unveiling new products, and ideally, this doesn't just rug pull the market completely and destroy this before the CPI has a chance to do that. So I'll be looking at that for sure. We'll take a look at what we got going on in terms of trading plans today, but mainly Apple is at the front foot of a lot of this, right? Along with some other news, a lot of people are anticipating this Apple event, the unveiling of new products and what they bring. Realistically, one of the main concepts was that the new iPhone is going to be more expensive than usual, which, surprise, surprise, I feel like that happens all the time. But we'll see how that kind of goes around. I remember one of the last unveilings, we had those like Apple like VR glasses, whatever they were, at some kind of obscene price. I think it was like $3,500. So it's going to be interesting to see how that kind of shapes up and what goes on from there. But overall, excuse me. Overall, one of the biggest antitrust trials of the modern digital era lands in court today in the U.S. Department of Justice, which faces Google in a lengthy showdown over its dominance in online search. So the suit is a holdover from the Trump administration, which took an activist regulatory approach against big tech that has continued under President Biden as well. And the coming trial is expected to last 2 months before any appeals. But Alphabet also faces litigations over competitive practices in Europe, as well as separate challenges in the US over its advertising technology business. So the DOJ will argue that Google did not cement its monopoly through innovation, but rather via exclusive contracts and deals that made it default search engine on phones, internet browsers, and so on. So these bad acts and illegal means, quote unquote, made it extremely difficult or impossible for any rivals to thrive and cut off any routes to its competitors, and could take ugh, to get in front of consumers. So exclusionary provisions are even said to be behind Google owning 90% of the search traffic on the web, and with its contracts helping achieve that dominant position. So Google lawyers will maintain the contracts struck with the likes of Apple, Samsung, Firefox, Verizon are not exclusive and haven't prevented people from searching out other search engines. And they'll also argue that its product provides a better experience while zooming in on the specific definition of taking the broader outlook on web traffic. For example, there are many places where searches are conducted, like on platforms of Amazon and Meta, with those companies also paying close attention to the courtroom battle. So realistically, right, I don't necessarily think there's going to be some crazy sways in the price of Google today. There could be because it starts, but this is going to be over an extended period of time, which again, the appeals are going to come out in a while. So it's going to be something to watch for in the future, in my opinion. We also have the trial will determine whether the U.S. government can bring a successful monopoly case against big tech. The previous failures with IBM, which was dismissed in 1982, and Microsoft settled in 2002. However, even if government wins this time around, a breakup of diversities is not necessarily expected, but rather remedies that can include absolving Google's exclusive search deals. Any decisions will also have an impact on the future innovation, including how much data can be collected in the coming age of artificial intelligence and other new technologies. So, going to be interesting over the next few weeks, right? We also had Oracle, which is one of the biggest names on the S&P, one of the biggest tech names, down about 10% pre-market here based on a miss on earnings, right? So tech is slumping a decent bit, right? Tech is struggling a decent bit over these last few days, other than like Tesla, which popped aggressively yesterday, and among other few names, right? So there have been some indications that tech has seen some kind of a turning point before we get into even the CPI, right? Because if we have those inflation figures that are higher, long duration names like tech are going to get a decent bit of a beat down. So this could be the resulting start of a pullback that comes into late September and early October. Realistically, right, a lot of things can change tomorrow morning pre-market. We could have one of those extended upside moves that is a shock to all. But overall, CPI is expected to come out at like 3.6% across the board, which is higher than the previous, right, the year-over-year measure. So that is putting some kind of downside pressure in this market, along with what's been going on recently with this market, right? You've seen pops here and there, but they've been pretty weak. Overall, sell side and the offer has been holding this market a little closer to the bear side, realistically. We've seen a lot of big named individuals flip-flop around saying that recessionary actions are to take place, and there could be a downside move in the market very large. But I think that's more fear than anything. But just generally speaking, if you're watching how order flow is shaping up, a lot of these rallies are kind of weak, right? The sell side is getting absorbed. Sorry. The sell side is absorbing liquidity very quickly. And when I look at this on the S&P 500 futures, we've rolled over to the Z contract. So I'll be quoting this in the Z contract. Right now, what we're looking at is 45.23 down to 45.20. That's a massive area in the Z contract, which, excuse me. Well, very sorry. Which is expected to hold out some of these guys as key support structure, right? If they start losing this, then you got another 10 points to the downside, which might not hold as well. So they really have to hold this out. They really have to press into some of these higher moves into like 45s and above if there's going to be any kind of bullishness leading up into the CPI, which is expected to be a very bearish event. So we're going to be trading that pre-market tomorrow with our team. We're going to be opening up our live trading room. I hope to see you all there. And remember, you can join community.tradeproacademy.com on our free Discord, but we will also have a free futures course that's available on our website. So go check that out. Other than that, let's open up our live trading room. I'll see you all in there, and we'll do this again tomorrow. Ideally, I'm not this disheveled. So thank you and take care, everyone.